Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I was doing a whole long introduction speech just now, and you were not able to hear a thing I was saying. And thank you to our producer from Long Island, from the other side of Long Island, for making me aware that you could not hear a thing that I was saying. So just give me a thumbs up, producer, if you can, if they can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Oh, I saw you move your hand. Was that a thumbs up? Okay, I think that's a thumbs up. I think they can hear me. Let me just run a test run to make sure that you can hear me. So we're so sorry about that. We are live on the island of Long Island. Was I saying Eleuthera?
No, you said
Oh,
Long Island.
oh, okay. We are live on the island of Long Island. And of course, I know you're used to us. You're used to us going live whenever we get to the island, showing you exactly what's going on. But this time, of course, because of what's going on, we were not able to go live since we were here last week. We've been here from Thursday, and we've not been able to go live because the internet has been down in some parts of the island for 3 days and in some parts for 2 days. And so, can you imagine in the 21st century having internet issues and having internet issues and having issues with water? I just want to make sure that you can hear me. Okay, everyone is giving me the thumbs up, so I guess that means they could hear me. Yes. All right, we just wanted to do a sound check just now. You can hear me perfectly. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we've been on this island, and all of the islands are having issues. I know Ms. Green did a live yesterday from Eleuthera and on this side. Come on, man, this is the 21st century. So what you're going to hear today is from local islanders who are willing to speak out and tell you exactly what is going on this island, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And after they speak, we're going to give you solutions. We're going to give you solutions to the problems that they're having. And we're going to open the phone lines so that you can call in if you're from Long Island or wherever you are in the Bahamas. You can call in if you have questions, etc. But Long Islanders, we want you to call in. We know that some of you are having internet and phone issues, but call in and let us know how you feel about what's going on in Long Island. We're going to talk about everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so, okay, to the other person, I see them there. Can you turn on your camera to make sure that when we're ready to go live with you, that we can see you? I see you're on. Oh, perfect. Now I can see you. All right, but you're not. Yes, you're not live. The public can't see you yet, and so you're backstage. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna hear from islanders, and so I'm gonna be sharing this while I'm allowing them to talk. But we want to hear from Long Islanders, and then we want to hear the solutions that the COI has for the issues that's going on here, and we're gonna let you speak. All right. I just want to say as we start, I'm impressed with this hotel. They didn't pay me for no advertisement. Where are we? We're in Harbor Breeze.
Harbor Breeze,
Harbor Breeze Villas,
and
yes.
resorts.
This hotel is fabulous. This
Very
is the
nice.
best Bahamian owned hotel that I have seen on the Family Islands. This is the
Yes.
best. All right, nothing is even close. If you come to Long Island, come here. They didn't know I was doing an advertisement. But I think that as a Bahamian hotel, the public deserves to know what is happening here. This is a Long Islander that came back to Long Island and invested, and more of that needs to happen. I also want to let you know that before this trip, I just have to say this, Miss Green, I have to say this. Before this trip, I thought Andres people could cook. Man, listen to me. Cameraman from Andres, he catching feelings. Listen to me.
Yes.
Long Island people could cook.
Yes, indeed.
My God. And I've been to a bakery today. We got some cake from that bakery today. And listen, Miss Green does normally share everything with me. If she got food and it tastes good, she share. She even share a piece of that cake with me. That's how good it tastes. But I had my own. As she said, I share with you. She didn't remember not sharing it. My God. She said, yeah, she shared. Okay, it was that good. I don't remember tasting it. But I had the rum cake, and that rum cake from that bakery today was fabulous. That was from Erica's Bakery. That's what the name, right? Yeah. Erica's Bakery. Jesus Lord. When you come to Long Island, go look for Erica's Bakery and get some of that cake. Again, they as a free advertisement, they didn't ask me to do that, but I have to say the talent that I'm experiencing on the Family Islands as we do it. And this is now one of the most beautiful places I've seen. My Lord. That view from the airport in Exuma is fabulous. But when I went to what the area called?
Seymour's?
What area
You mean
called?
where the Busted
Yes,
Bridge is and the
yes.
Columbus
Busted Bridge is the area.
Busted
Is
Bridge.
what they call it. What's the area
That's
we went to?
that's
Say again?
Seymour's.
Seamoss and
Seymour's.
Busted
And Busted, it's
Bridge.
called Busted
Listen,
Bridge.
and then I went,
When
and
Newton's
then I
Bridge
went,
was Newton's Bridge.
and then we went on top of the hill. I should have been showing you pictures now, but we had some technical difficulties,
Yeah.
and I didn't have time to load everything up. Um, when we went to they have a monument for the natives of this island. They call it the Monument of Columbus. I don't respect Columbus, but they said to the native of this island and to the arrival of Columbus on the 17th of October, that's 5 days after he landed in Cat Island, San Salvador, whatever the debate is, he came to Long Island. And so the view from where they say he came on top of that hill, phenomenal. That's like something from a movie. If you watch, see Tahiti and Bora Bora, where they have the water and the beautiful hills, green hills. Jesus, I've never seen nothing like this. Long Island, you are the best kept secret. So we're going to talk about how we're going to restore Long Island and bring this back to its glory days. So first, I'm going to introduce the persons who are here. We're in the lobby of a hotel, so you're going to be hearing noise all around us, some blenders and kids crying and all that kind of stuff, but we wanted to do it here. Ms. Green, welcome.
Welcome. Good evening, Thomas. Good evening, Long Island. Thank you so much for having us. Listen, we had a wonderful day. The ride was long, but we had the opportunity to meet so many people. Thank you for having us here, and I look forward to this talk.
Yes, and also we have Dr. Veronica MacGyver sitting here with Dr. MacGyver. Welcome to Long Island.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here. And hello to everybody who's watching. I just want to let you all know that for those people who are from Long Island, we went from Gordon's all the way
In the south.
to Seymour's in the north. So anyone who from Long Island, they would know that we trekked the whole length of the island and we spoke with as many people as we can. And we had a wonderful time doing it, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had a wonderful time.
We're going to tell you about what we heard too.
Yes.
All right. But of course, now I want to introduce two of my guests, and they are from Long Island. Everyone knows, respects, and loves them. And they are very outspoken. So we're going to hear from them tonight about what's really going on. We don't have time to mess around because we're losing a jewel of the Bahamas. So we really want to know how we can improve this island. We want to know what's going on in this island so that we can fix it. If we keep our heads in the sand, we can't fix it. Long Island is a forgotten island. It seems like all governments, your finger right here, yeah. All right, it seems like all governments have been neglecting Long Island. And so we're going to talk about that because it seems like we've regressed and gone back 50 years in Long Island. And we should have been trekking ahead 100 years. And so let's find out what their issues are so it can be fixed. And we're going to hear it directly from persons. First, I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Chuck Fox. Mr. Chuck Fox, welcome to the program. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You're breaking up a little bit there, and the audio a little low, but
All
you know,
right.
the internet connection a little rough, but I'm good.
Yeah, the internet connection is rough. We'll get to talk about all that in a second. I'm also going to introduce to you Miss Erica. Erica is responsible for that good cake we've been bragging about. Erica, my Lord.
That woman can bake.
That woman can bake.
Yes.
You could cook too?
100%.
You could cook too?
Thank you. Yeah,
Oh my God.
I can
Jesus.
cook and bake.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Well, anyway, I had you baking. So when we come back, we got to definitely get your cooking. So listen,
We'll
to
have to
me,
work that out.
y'all have taken the crown from Andres in Long Island. Y'all could cook, buddy. Y'all could cook. I know these mango skin people could cook like this. Y'all got it down packed, my lord. Congratulations. I could be coming back here even more.
Good.
All right, so I just want to we're gonna have a roundtable conversation, and again, it's a conversation. So if you want to bring up something or talk, you can talk at any time. You don't have to wait for me to ask you a question. If you want to bring up something, it's roundtable, so everyone is able to talk and say what's going on. I'll help lead it out by letting you guys speak. And if Chuck is saying something you don't like, you could speak, or if you want to add something that he missed out, you can speak. So I know the two of y'all deep freeze in the vernacular, so you can you can speak your mind. I'll start with you, Erica, since you could cook better than Chuck. I'll start with you, Erica. Tell me what's going on in Long Island, man. We traveled the whole thing, and everyone is sad. Everyone is disappointed at the state of Long Island. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, like Chuck said, the internet connection is a bit iffy, but the island it's just deteriorating. I feel like we have gone back maybe to the 60s or further. We have no banking. We have one Bahamas Air flight a day, if we're lucky. The
Wow.
roads are falling to pieces. It's nothing good.
Wow.
The clinic needs
Wow.
upgrading,
Jesus.
and it's one
Chuck.
clinic in the north and one in Deadman's Key. It used to be
Okay.
a clinic in Clarence Town, which is the capital, but when that got ruined in, I think it was Woking, they never fixed that back. There used to be a little one in Roses. That's closed. There used to be a police station in Clarence Town. That's not open. And the one in Deadman's Key, I mean, I thought police stations supposed to be open 24/7, but they seem to be closed all the time. So if something happened, how are you supposed to contact the police? My husband got in an accident late one evening, and it took 3 hours to get a police officer.
What? What?
I was under the impression that a police station is supposed to be open 24/7. In the
Mm.
southern part of Long Island, for sure, we have 11 police officers plus reserve police. Why is the police station closed?
Mm.
I went to the
I would,
hairdresser this afternoon. I left at 6 p.m. and the police station was locked down.
wow. A police station, an essential item.
The
We were
police
wondering the same
station.
thing. I actually took pictures of the police station closed. It was in the middle of the day, and we were wondering if that was real. We thought maybe they weren't using the building anymore or something. Maybe they'd
Listen,
moved out. But I've never heard of a police station closing. I was a police officer. I've never heard of that.
yeah, as of late, I have come to realize that is a regular occurrence.
Wow.
And the next police station is in the north. And like you say, you all drove the whole island. So you know that's a long ways away.
Yes, it is.
But it's
Let me
so
get
many things. Chuck, chime in here, help me, because I know
Chuck.
I'm
You
not
can chime
thinking of
in. What's
everything.
going on? What's going on, man?
Well, I glad he picked you because me and you similar. We gonna let our opinions be heard, and we ain't got
Of
no
course.
filters, and we gonna let you know how it is. We can shoot you direct. And as I was
Okay.
telling Mr. Bain last night, that was one of the things, the clinic and the hospital. I even forgot to mention about the police station. That police station in the north is like a 9 to 5 business. 4 or 5 o'clock,
So
that
it's that
close.
way as well. This is interesting.
So if you get
And
robbed
I
after
told,
5, you're locked up.
yeah, and I told Mr.
Yeah,
Bain
any
and those,
criminal activity after 5, you're good.
yeah, and
Wow.
we have many issues on Long Island, and it's been steady decline. The economy in the island has been spiraling down for many years now, and actually got to a point where I moved to Nassau for a while for better economic reasons. I was making better money in Nassau, but at the end of the day, in Nassau you spend more. So my goal was to always come back to the island, and I moved back, and now I have kids and all of that stuff, and it's really a shame to see what's going on the island. The no bank with the one ATM situation. We used to have two ATMs. We were, two ATMs, but now we have
We had
one
4
ATM
banks
left.
at
No,
one time.
yeah, I told them we have like 4 branches here. There's no bank here. We have
None.
tourists coming to the island. They want to get bank services. They can't do it. If I want to get paid in cash, I stop to the ATM. It's like a Russian roulette. You never even know. It's either that you might be able to get something or you can't. So at the end of the day, I might not even get paid. And some places don't take cards, So,
Wow.
and then the clinic situation, like Erica was saying, we don't have any we don't even have a mini hospital here. They can't do stuff like you can't even get an X-ray here. You have to go into now anything other than general stuff ain't nothing happening. So you can imagine me moving back here with 4 kids. That was one of the biggest concerns. And the roads, they did some of the roads for 4 years to do it. And the roads, for the most part, the potholes is deplorable. They patch like maybe 7 holes at a time, wait 3 weeks, and then do another 7. So, and it's just it's a beautiful island, like I was telling you, and I'm glad you got to see some stuff. Next time you could take a real tour with me and I'll show you everything. But it's a magical island, and it's really a shame to be this beautiful island in the Bahamas and before with the issues that we having right now. It's unreal. And like you said
Yeah.
before, like you mentioned before, we already had both
Wow.
of the governments over the years, F and MPL, but we still like stuck in the 16th century, like Erica say. I mean, you came on the airport like we was discussing. We barely even accept Bahamas air flights here. And it's really costing the island. If we had a proper airport and airlift here and direct flights from the States and stuff like that, I'm a local tour guide, and I've had guests tell me, it takes them like 3 days just to get to Long Island. You can imagine 3 days trying to get here,
It is.
3 days trying to get back. That's 6 days of your whole vacation.
Exactly.
So it's crazy.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I go into Atlanta. It's going to take me 3 days to get there. But yeah,
What?
You need
it's
about a month.
crazy. Like an average person, if you have 2 to 3 weeks vacation, you're not going to choose Long Island because a week of your
No,
vacation, you're in the airport.
gone.
And nobody wants to
Mm.
spend half your vacation in an airport.
Mm.
And
Wow.
I work
also,
for
like I was
myself,
telling
so I
Mr.
can go and
Bain,
come as I please.
yeah,
But
and
I
I
mean,
was telling Mr. Bain,
just getting into
go
Nassau
ahead,
is the
sorry.
problem.
Wow.
Because
That's crazy.
if you do not plan your trip, you will not get to Nassau. But what happens
No,
when a medical issue arises? You're not sick to the point where you need an emergency flight, but you need to get to Nassau for further medical attention. But you can't get out for a week or 2. I mean, this is insane.
yeah, and that's
Wow.
another situation. Excuse me, situation. We have Bahamas. They coming to Deminsky. They don't go to Stella Maris anymore. And
No.
like Erica say, it's booked out. It take you if you got to take a regular flight. You got advance. If you was to say,
At
Mm.
least
okay, well, like she's saying, and actually go need to go tomorrow. It ain't emergency, but you need to go tomorrow. You can't do that. You got to charter a $1,500
Wow.
flight out.
yep.
What?
And we have people still come here and they fall in love. We have a special island. But at the end of the day, the frustration and the money what they gotta pay just to get here is unreal. You know,
Mm.
fall in love and they come to the island, but unless you got some serious cash and all that stuff and a lot of time off, I mean the average person 2 weeks vacation, that ain't make no sense.
No,
Wow.
a lot of people actually fly into Exuma, and thankfully now we have the sheep runner. So they fly into
Yeah, that,
Exuma and catch the sheep runner over. That's been helping us out a bit with tourism. But then again, not everybody are boat people. And then if the weather's a
Mm.
little iffy, the ferry's not gonna run either. You know, I don't know. It's
and
Wow.
another thing, Mr. Bain,
just a few years
the
ago we had the
Morning.
the list
Southern
it
Air
just
2
goes
flights a
on and on.
day.
But another thing, like I was telling you about Asian thing, and children who come out of high school, the island.
Mm.
Nothing.
So now I have 3 of them in high school right now, grade 7. In the next 5 years or so, if I don't have, if I don't try to push something, they can leave the island too. There's no future here for them. You see what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I blame all governments. I blame all the previous, uh, and they dangling the carrot in front of us. You know, with this, we have the groundbreaking for the airport. It was supposed to be the first of this year, the first call, last call election, and say, okay, your airport coming, like they always do. Your airport coming, like we ain't got no sense. And then when you look, when they get it in 3, 4 years, you
They've
gotta
been
wait again.
campaigning about this airport for how many elections now,
Before
Chuck?
I was born, before me and you was born,
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
Erica
it's
and is it
crazy.
Fox? Is it
Oh, and one more
Yeah.
thing. Sorry, I don't want to take up. I want Mr. Ben. I want John to talk on that too. But NGM Major High School is the public high school in this country. So that show you right there. Statistically, we top in public country, right? Like we was discussing yesterday. Some of
so
the smartest
Erica and
people.
Mr. Fox?
Wait, let me make the point
Uh-huh.
first.
Okay.
Can you repeat that? You were breaking up. So
Keep breaking.
you were saying about the school?
Yeah, I was saying. Yeah, this internet is a problem. But I was saying.
Yeah.
NGM Major is the top public high school in the Bahamas for many years now. And Long
many
Island has
years.
produced some of the smartest people, some of the most hardworking people. And like we was discussing, Mr. Bain, Long Islanders like helped to build the entire Bahamas, even places in Florida. And we have some brilliant people coming, resilient people coming from here. And then at the end of the day, we get treated like dogs, you know? So I don't know.
Chuck,
Wow.
North School is get, but for many years, North Long Island has been the second highest high school in the
Yeah,
entire Bahamas. Ooh. North don't get
What?
recognized, but many, many years, I don't know if they're still holding second, but Long Island, NGM is top, and North Long Island has been second for the government high schools in this Bahamas.
yep.
Wow.
And then all of the children who come from there,
Okay.
well, not all, but I would say 8 out of 10 have to leave the island because if you ain't fishing or doing construction, you ain't got no opportunities here. So all that education and all those smart students and that stuff goes away from the island. We don't benefit from it.
Yeah. It's
So
definitely
let me
nothing
butt
for
in
the
for a minute,
females to
guys.
do.
Let me just butt in for a minute. So what we are looking at right now as it relates to infrastructure, it seems
Mhm.
like the government has put a roadblock in all of our major infrastructure where it relates to
Yep.
banking, traveling, education. It seems like the whole economics of Long Island is being destroyed.
Yep.
Government. And this is where now culture comes into play. This is where family comes into play because we are not afforded the basic infrastructure on these family islands. You see, families are being broken up families have to, either the fathers have to go off to Nassau or somewhere else just to make money to bring home to the family, to take care of the family, or you see children, young people have to go off to school, to university to complete their education. These basic infrastructures are what should be on every family island. And this is where it takes away from our culture. This is where it takes away from the essence of family. So if we want to see change in our country, if we want to see change on our islands, we have to vote different, because it's obvious that we are regressing as a nation instead of progressing. Can we agree?
Right. And I just
Yes.
wanted to tell the people in Long Island, listen, we have heard your voices, we have heard your cry, and we also know that the two dinosaur parties have not kept their promises. We have heard you loud and clear. And I think Erica or one of them said that there's only one ATM. And sometimes when you go to the ATM, there's no money in it. Now imagine how much gas is for your car on the island. Long Island is about 180 miles long, or 100,
80
about
plus, yeah.
80 plus miles long. So if someone's coming from the north or south to the ATM, you might spend how much money to fill your car with gas?
$20.
And then you get there, and there's no money in the ATM. Imagine an elderly lady
None.
paying someone to take her to the ATM, right? And there's no money, and then you have to waste that money. Listen, it's too inconvenient. And I like I say, I hear your cry. I've spoken to the people, and something has to be done. But as this show goes on, there's much more for us to say. But I will give the floor back to Lorraine, or
Yeah, and so these are some of the problems. I'm hearing that we have also an economic problem. There's no economy in Long Island, and
None.
tell us about that. Where is Long Island versus where it was 10, 15 years ago?
You're breaking up. Oh,
Well, I don't know if you guys could hear me, because even my Starlink internet freaking out right now. I don't know what's going on, but
my
um,
Starlink too.
I don't know. Usually I get great service. I'm on data right now, but the economy
they're on
is really
Starlink
bad.
too.
The economy is really bad if you ain't doing certain things, like I say, fishing or construction, or you don't have like a 9 to 5.
We have
It's
to
really
make our
bad.
own economy. Doc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like,
yeah.
they will hear me.
basically,
He's still talking.
a lot of the population here, we work for ourselves.
hmm
You're either doing fishing, carpentry, or like as of late,
Oh.
we have
Listen,
a lot of
let me
people doing taxi, or other than like the couple government jobs. But yeah, most people here are self-employed, and you just pray for a good tourist season. I ain't gonna lie, my whole business rely on the tourists.
Yeah. And being the shadow minister of health, I started to look into some of the health issues on the island. And I understand that you only have one morgue. And there are times when
In terms, yeah,
bodies have to stack up on one another. And when I heard that just
yep,
break my heart. Nobody wants their loved one to be stacked up on anybody else or anybody on top of them. And another thing,
exactly.
and the morgue that was supposed to be in another area, they bought in, I understand, they bought in a new equipment for the morgue, but because the infrastructure, this is what we were told, the infrastructure is not adequate, that morgue could not be installed. What is going on in Long Island? They have to get this thing right. And while I have the microphone, I understand there's no dentist here. Everybody probably
No,
knows that, I am a dentist by profession. And when I saw the needs of the people, I spoke with them. I saw the needs of the people. That break my heart. And I can guarantee you, I don't like making promises, but I can guarantee you, once I sit in the chair as the Minister of Health, trust me, you will have clinics here meeting the needs of the people, especially as it relates to dentistry. So I have been watching, I've been
need
seeing,
I too.
listening.
And
Yes, and so
listen,
go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah, sorry about that. But listen, it's good you brought up that dentist thing too, because I have 4 kids, like I said before. So my kids, my younger kid, and some of my older kids, they going through that stage of losing teeth or having bad teeth going on. And one of my youngest ones, she used to have a tooth infection every week. And I'll go to the regular clinic, they'll give her antibiotics and just call it a day. I couldn't take her to a dentist on the island just to get a complication resolved. I have to spend me or my wife have to take her into Nassau,
Yes.
spend all that money to get into Nassau, go find accommodations if I ain't got none, go to the dentist, pay for the dentist, and come back. So I gotta leave my work, or my wife gotta leave her work for a whole week almost just to get some simple as a child, a dentist for a child. And I moved back to the island because I want my kids to grow up and experience the island. But like just the simplest things you could think of is a major battle for us.
And let me say
Yeah,
And
I
this.
have a
Erica,
crack tooth right now.
Erica has I don't know if you call it
Special
quadriplegic.
needs.
Erica, she
Yeah,
has a
special needs.
disabled
Yeah.
daughter, and if something major was happen, she have to go into Nassau, leave her job, close her shop down, and you know what I mean. And something as simple as
Yeah.
like a dentist, like you said. I mean,
Yes.
seriously, I mean, I moved back to my island, but like every day the struggle is real.
Wow.
Right,
It
right.
is real.
It is so expensive. Just to do a simple procedure, like you said, you have to pay for your hotel room, your
Yep.
airfare. That is very unfair for the people. And this
Yep.
is the 21st century. I don't understand what is going on. And I also learned that in Nassau, which is the main capital, the dental clinic in the main PMH hospital has been shut down. When I found that out, I was like, what? You've got to be joking. This
Right.
is really facts and let the people know what's going on.
Yeah.
This should not be happening in 2024.
And I know recently you guys had a lot of problems with water. You had problems with electricity. I mean, the simple basic necessities. Electricity right now is horrible. I mean, this is the 21st century, for Christ's sake.
Yes.
And we're paying politicians to fix these problems, and they're not being fixed. And we keep complaining and voting and complaining and voting, and nothing is getting done.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
to see, go ahead.
with the water situation, right? Yes, we still don't have water throughout the whole island. But
Wow.
due to victimization by the current MP, there is a section in the north that they intentionally left out and then connected the pipe again further. So it's a whole settlement or two that they deliberately did not hook up with water because I guess they're not for him.
Wow.
But running water is available in that area.
Well,
They
But
skip what they
but
wanted to
none
skip.
of the people in that area has access to the government running water.
What?
What?
And yet
and
they say victimization has been done with. What is
And,
that if that's not victimization?
and is it true, Erica, that there's no water lines from Clarence Town into Gordon's? Would that be correct? There are no
Yeah, the
the
water
road.
ends right in Lockaba,
right
right
where
in that
y'all at,
area we all stay in. That's
What?
the end of the
right in
government
that
water.
area.
So how do people in that section of the island get water? I heard there's some tank or
What
something they're using. Or
what we had to
Some
do?
areas, some areas have fresh wells, like in Berries. They
right.
have good fresh water. Other people have tanks, and if it doesn't rain, you have to pay like $80 for a truckload of water, which in that truckload of water is probably a week's worth of water.
Wow.
And
So
so it gets really expensive because say, okay, 3 months of my water bill, I pay like $100. That's for 3 months. But
Wow.
if you're on a tank and they deliver, it's only like 1,200 gallons of water. So if you have a family, that's not much water. And you have to pay like $80. And then sometimes you'll be on the list for 2 weeks before you get that water.
And
Wow.
then,
And
uh,
yeah, and not to change the subject again, but something
mhm,
just clicked in my head about the health issue about the ambulances. I understand that you have
None.
one or two ambulances on the island, but they're not functioning or something, or no drivers. Can you go into that for
They
us?
they had sent one about how many years ago that was, Chuck? And
Why you
probably
it's
calling in?
probably
set
about probably about 2 years now,
Oh,
at least.
wow. Okay.
Why you calling into the show?
And
and we
I
don't
guess
have
it
a
has brought it down now.
Why you calling into the
we
show?
don't have
It
a
was
sorry, Erica, sorry.
Yeah. All right, I'm
not
All
back.
right, let
ambulance. Is it still at the warehouse, Chuck, in Saltpond? I don't
No,
recall it ever being moved.
it's in Sam's Clinic, and the issue with that is we don't have proper paramedics or drivers here to operate it. So that's the
Oh, okay.
problem. And guess what? It was actually at one point when it left the warehouse, it was parked in the back of the bush somewhere in a clearing in the back of the bush out of people's sight
What?
for
What?
several
Gotta be
months.
joking.
But
So
What?
I
Chuck,
was driving through there. I was driving through there. I seen it. I took pictures of it, posted about it. Then I guess after they seen that, they put it by the Sims Clinic and it's just been resting there, basically rotten. And it wasn't from the government. It was actually Alive who donated
from
it.
alive. But
So
Chuck, there was a group, because Tanya Tamika
yeah, who went
Hunt,
do training? Yeah,
it's a few of those who did training. They were promised jobs. They went to NASA. They did training for what, like 5 months or something,
yeah.
to be like paramedics, and none were ever hired. So yes, we did have
Nope.
a few people who did do the
And
course.
that was last year when we had that terrible accident with the three guys, the three
Mhm.
young men. And it was no way for them. There was three young men who got in this accident. I'm sure if he was had proper ambulance or proper air flight out of here, they could have. They at least one of them could have been saved. But
Wow.
like I was telling Mr. Bain, I mean, if one of us take with a heart attack or something right now, first of all, we could go to the clinic, but we got to find somebody who could attend to us, and then only so much they could do. Then they got to find a flight for us to go into Nassau and all that stuff. So you'll be dead and gone before you even get off the island.
Yeah, and it's
Well,
so bad.
not
I
to.
heard
I don't
there's
like to brag about what I do, but the clinic only has a defibrillator and an EKG machine and a few other things because I beg donations for those.
Right.
Wow.
wow.
Thank you so much for
Thank
that.
you.
The
Yes,
clinic
kudos to
did
you.
not have. They
Wow.
did
And
not
I
have
met a
the simple
resident
little
on
thing to
this
check
island.
your iron. Just that
Wow.
little thing to check your iron. They could not check a
Yes.
person's iron at the clinic.
Wow.
I have some American friends who are very good to me, and they know when I ask for something, it's going to where I say. So yeah, I did get a defibrillator, a EKG machine, some other little things. But I mean, it's insane that the clinic did not have these.
But this is not our. Doesn't supposed to be our responsibility. But the problem is if
No,
the
but
government
then it's
ain't doing it,
also catch hell.
yeah,
It's also
right.
catch hell if they don't have it.
I know. If you don't do it, if you don't be resilient like everything else, you ain't gonna never get it done. And if you got to be your own doctor, you got to be your own nurse, you got to be your own musty pilot next. You got to be everything. If you could make it on the family island like Long Island, you could
Wow.
make it on anywhere.
Any
Wow.
type
Yeah.
of
Living
it,
on Long
it,
Island is almost like being in one of those survivor game shows.
Right.
Like you gotta survive with the
yes,
minimal of
every day
whatever.
we're in survival mode.
Yeah, every
Every day.
day. Flight or
And
what do you call it? Fright or flight. Survival mode.
and it's so expensive. I spoke with a resident who said that she's so afraid of not having clear that she's
Yeah.
paying for air ambulance services in case she needs it. And I
I
asked her how
do.
much. She said $180 a month, I think she said. Now, I don't know what the salary is here, but if you're making minimum wage, to take $180 just to say to secure a flight into Nassau because of your health, I think that's a lot of money, and that's unnecessary. So when
Well,
we
that
get in,
was one of the. Sorry.
I said, when we get into the government, we're going to provide, those helicopters to arrange for people to get into Nassau as quickly as possible. So
Yeah.
listen,
Well, a
we're
lot of people on the island don't know. I came to learn of this recently. The island administrator is allowed to authorize a certain amount of air ambulance services a year, but I think it's mainly for like the elderly, like the senior citizens.
Mm.
A lot of people don't know about that. I mean, I myself just learned about that recently, but I don't know how many. It's not a huge number, so it's still not, you know. But yeah, I pay for my family and I. We pay for air ambulance because if you have to get an air ambulance, that's like 10 grand.
And that was one of
And
the biggest deciding factors of me and my wife moving there with the kids. You know, when I was here by myself and I wasn't married with the kids, I wasn't too worried about that because I've been kind of thugging it out and making it over the years. But two of the biggest things that I had to do to persuade my wife to come to Long Island is the economy. I had to tell her, I gotta have to do it, and she gotta have to do what she gotta do to make it. And then the next thing was the kids. Something simple as them just breaking a bone. Me or
you
my
gotta
wife
catch
try to
them.
go. Me or my wife gotta fly them into Nassau. We gotta take, like I was saying, take off time from work and find that extra money. And right now, I have two companies. I have my tech company and I have my tour and taxi, and I still barely making it. And right
exactly.
Yeah,
now,
it's
like,
no
eh,
extra money.
you know, if something, I could be straight up with you. If something was happen to me or one of my family members tonight, I don't even have, I don't even have the money to get them into Nassau. That's how rough it is right now.
Wow.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
yes.
You know,
Is it safe to say, guys? Is it safe to say, and I think all of the other family islands can relate, that we are actually playing Russian roulette with our
every
lives?
day
We are playing Russian
Every
roulette
day.
we are
with
playing
everything.
Russian roulette with the future of our children, with the
Yep.
future of our children's future. And I think we need to get to a point in this country where we stop, stop allowing the government to provide the minimum basic form of governance. That's not why they are there. They are there to govern in a sustainable way. And when I say sustainable way, I am talking about securing our country for generations to come. Even after we are gone, we have a country in place where our children and their children can benefit from. We are adults. We are tax-paying citizens, and there is no need in this country where we should be living in fear, thinking one day on a family island, God forbid, one of us have a heart attack. There is no medical facility for us to go to. No, we need to
No.
stop accepting this. And as you are aware in my voice, I try not to allow my passion to overthrow me or overwhelm me. But listen, we have been going through this. I'm not 50 yet, but we've been going through this for 51 years. Are we going to allow another 50 years of this to take place?
Charlotte, let me answer Charlotte. No, the Bahamian people are not going to allow another 50 years of this if I have anything to do with it. That's why, and Mr. Bain can speak to this, with the vision of COI, we're going to island states. You know why? So you can run your own island. You don't need central government to be coming in here and dictating to you what you're going to have to do. A lot of I must say, I admire the people of Long Island. I notice that they are resilient, right? They almost sustain their own selves. But At the end of the day, we don't want you to have to bend over backwards to do everything yourself. So with Island States, we're going to allow you to manage your own island with minimal interference from the federal government. Trust us on that. It's time that we get to that point. Mr. Bain, you can further talk about the council and the mayor and everything that they will have.
All right, so before I get to that, I want to open the phone lines for anyone. If you are in Long Island, now, this is the only catch. Again, it's like we're in one of those Survivor or End of the World movies. Like, anyone ever watch I Am Legend? That's how some Long Islanders kind of describe what they're going through. These survival movies, and so I'll show you. I'll just show you my phone. My signal. Yes, the bill is paid. Yes, it's good to go. But my phone has, we got it right here. We can see it right here. You see that big zero thing right on there? No signal. So it's not like 1 or 2 bars. It's 0 with a stripe through it saying that I'm getting no phone signal. All right. And I'm in the middle of a hotel. All right. And so are you getting signal on there? What you got? You ain't got no signal. That's Wi-Fi. Let me see what's happening on
Thank
here.
God for Starlink and Wi-Fi because plenty times that's our only connection to the world.
No
Yeah.
signal, right? So, but you can call WhatsApp call. Normally we take WhatsApp call and regular call, but the number is 803-5995. Just save it to your phone and call us on WhatsApp. WhatsApp call us 803-5995. What do you think about what you're hearing that's going on in Long Island? Long Island has so much potential. Jesus, you cannot even imagine the potential of Long Island. We're going to start talking about some of the calls. So WhatsApp call me 803-5995. If you're in Long Island, you want to say something, or if you're in the rest of the Bahamas and you're shocked at what's going on here. I'm doing this because Long Island is a forgotten island. It's like everyone has forgotten them. And I'm sorry, this is not a political statement. This is reality. The FNM has forgotten the Long Island. The PLP has forgotten Long Island. This all governments have done so. And I've said to a lot of Long Islanders, I'll say this to the two of you, as we have driven, we've stopped from house to house from the south. It took us several days to do it. From the deep south to the deep north. We went from the exact last, wherever the road stopped in the south, in Gardens, to exactly where the road stopped in the north, in Seymour's, and we stopped the houses, as many as we could in between. Everyone seems to be disturbed at the state of their island. They feel like it has regressed over the years. Many people have left. We've gone from a population of probably around 12,000 a few years ago to around about 3,500 or so. Is that right in your estimation, guys?
I would say back in like the 70s, 80s, we had up to at least between 10 to 12,000, but right now like 3,500, like you say.
Wow.
Yes,
And
it's
so people have
3,500.
left.
That's it. Yeah.
People have left the island. There seems to be no vision for the island. And, a lot of people seem discouraged. Some people said that they wasn't going to vote because they said, well, y'all didn't send anyone last time, so they wasn't planning on voting. And the thing is, I said to them, if the FNM feels you're going to vote for them anyway, they're not going to do anything for you. Why should they? Why should they? And then the PLP is going to say, well, the FNM didn't do anything for you. And y'all is FNM, so we ain't doing nothing either. And so you're going to suffer. They're going to do the very minimum for you. And I think that that's one of the problems that you've been having. South Andres reminds me of the same thing. All right? South Andres has a similar problem. The PLP says, well, they can vote for us anyway. The FNM say, well, we ain't checking for y'all. And so we let our love of politics hurt us. And this is just reality. This isn't a political part of the conversation. This is the reality of what seems to be going on, and many people feel that way. How you all feel about that?
Well, the thing is, it's almost like Stockholm syndrome. It's like we so used to the bad treatment. We so used to the bad treatment that we we have in our head, okay, well, we, you know how the Stockholm syndrome when they getting abused, whatever, and then they love the abuser. That's how it
Yeah.
seems to me. You know what I mean?
Wow.
We so used to bad treatment and having to survive every day all our life that we got the people, well, not me particularly, but a lot of the people just got to a point where they give up and like, or they like it or what, I don't know. But right now, and then just back to the water thing for a quick second. I just turned 47 on the 13th, and I live in Salt Pond. Salt Pond doesn't have the luxury of having fresh water wells or whatever. We had to live off rainwater tank for all our life. I just seen running city water in Salt Pond for the first time in my life about 2 years ago in Salt Pond, 45 years before I just see
Clarendon is the capital,
and the
and
Clarence.
and it just got water. And let me tell
Exactly.
you, they say these things aren't political, right?
Wow.
You know, the day I got water here, election day, that morning they
Yep.
connected my water.
And it's
That's
like
when I got
it,
running water
it's
in
deliberate.
Clarence Town, the capital of the island.
Yep.
No,
And
man.
it's deliberate.
I think
Like I was telling Mr. Bain,
it's so sick
it's the
that,
yeah, it's deliberate. It's like
go
they got
ahead.
a chokehold on us and they
Mm-hmm.
ain't letting go, you know? So
Yeah,
I don't
We
I
and
have been.
honestly at the end of the day, I moved back here for my kids and want them to have a good life. And if I didn't grow up here and was done used to the struggle, the survival, I wouldn't have made it a year. Some days I find myself saying, okay, I mean, is it worth for me to stay? That's how I feel. If something don't change.
Mm,
Well, let me say this.
mhm.
My heart breaks for what you are saying, sir. My heart is breaking with the neglect that Long
Mhm.
Island has been under for so long. This has got to change. And I also want my leader to speak to the fishermen because I understand that that's your main industry here. And we have a lot of plans for that as well. So hopefully tonight, if we have time, we can get into all of that for you.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about solutions to all of these stuff. Just want the phone lines to be open. I know everyone is having internet problems right now, but you got to call on the internet, on WhatsApp, because I am not getting on regular line. So 803-5995 is the number. No, we're good to go. 803-5995 is the number. So you can call in on that number, but you got a WhatsApp call. I'm so sorry about that. Um, so I want to talk about I want to break down some of the problems that you all listed and talk about some of the solutions that line up with Vision 2025 and the things we want to do. Um, because we can fix this, and it's going to take our generation, guys, the generation of all of us. Um, it's going to take our generation to really fix our country because those other guys have been failing us. For us to be having conversation with water and electricity 51 years later is unacceptable. I'm watching the Biden Trump election right now, and there's no conversation about basic needs. They're having conversation about how they could get greater and greater and greater. They're not talking about water. They're not talking about electricity service. Trump is saying he's going to reduce the price, but they're not talking about the service of electricity and internet, like basic everyday stuff, banking service. Jesus Christ. And I watch elections all over the world because I love political science. It seems like we're the only place talking about this. We should be embarrassed to still be talking about running water pipes. We should be embarrassed. 51 years later, pipes, for God's sake, pipes, tanks. Like y'all said, the water stops here where we are. Jesus, I think we could drive another hour to get to the NA, another hour
Yeah.
or two to get to the NA. Yes. And so that's how much more water is missing. Come on, man. We can't be doing this, man. This is not acceptable. We have to stop settling as a people. So let's talk about some of the solutions, and y'all can tell me, what y'all, how y'all feeling, what y'all think. I want to break a couple of things down that y'all mentioned. One of the things that y'all talked about Well, I'm not even going to talk about water and electricity. That's embarrassing to even have that conversation. And so so I want to talk about the other issues we all have. Banking. One of the things that we have said that we're going to do is we're going to take Bank of the Bahamas, which is majority owned by the government, and we're going to make sure that they have a bank branch. We have to subsidize it because banking is a necessity. Because if they catch you with $10,000 underneath your mattress, they're going to harass you. All right? They're going to bother you. And because they want you to have your money in the bank. So they should make sure that we have banking services. And because the government is involved in that business, then they need to make sure we have a branch on every island. Guess what? They make sure we have a police station on every island, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they will unlock you.
But they ain't open.
They make sure they have their tax on.
Even they ain't open.
They open. The station there, though.
You if you are a midnight criminal, you safe.
So in other words, rob in the night if you're a criminal.
Yep. Well, even before 9 a.m., like grocery stores. I mean, and this may sound like a joke, but seriously, like most of the grocery stores and the gas stations open 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Mhm.
And seriously, so I mean, okay, everybody moving about the same island.
Mhm.
Everybody's noticing. Everybody, and Long Island is nosy. That's what it is. So everybody knows. Well, the police station closed. So if I'm a criminal, I'm gonna watch the police station for a couple days and get their schedule.
Wow.
Because then when I go rob somebody, who they gonna call? Because ain't nobody. You call the police station, ain't nobody to pick up.
Right.
Wow. All right.
So you get plenty of time to escape.
We haven't
Wow.
seen one police car.
Wow. Yeah, we haven't driven past one police car.
No.
We saw a police car parked at a house.
Yes.
But we haven't driven past, we haven't seen any police cars patrolling. Not saying it don't happen, but we haven't experienced it since we've been here. So, all right. So,
Honestly, now that you said that, yes, I haven't noticed. Usually in Clarence Town, because the administrator's house is right
mhm.
here. But maybe because she off, they don't do their normal patrols this way either. For true, I have not noticed them for a few
Wow.
weeks.
All right. So back to the plan.
Because normally they would patrol early morning and late night, but no.
So we're gonna make sure that there's a banking branch. It doesn't have to be a big branch, just something that people can function, and proper ATMs because it's the 21st century. And that is a fiat ATM and a Bitcoin ATM. All right, and you have to have more than one on each island because the islands are spread out. All right, and so there are plans we have to attract more businesses and other things to the island to cause people to want to come back home. A lot of people would love to come back to not Eleuthera, Long Island, including young people. And so, but they just need something to do when they come here. And so we're going to make sure that Bank of the Bahamas has the ATMs and the Bitcoin ATMs because we're going heavily into Bitcoin and branches so that you can operate properly. That's a must. All right. You also talked about airlift, which is a serious problem. Airlift, we can't operate a country without airlift, all right, without proper airlift. And so I'm going to give you one of the things I have planned for airlift. And it's going to seem revolutionary, but it's a simple solution and it can be done. And if you study what they do in the United States and other countries, it's very doable. We are going to make sure that every island major island where we live is connected by airlift. And so what you're going to have is hubs. And so every island is going to have airlift that jumps between the islands and a hub for each section. Long Island is going to be the hub for the southern section of the Bahamas. So the airline, and in fact, I'll pull this up on the screens. I want people to understand this. I want them to see that there are real solutions to our problems. The only problem we have is vision, ladies and gentlemen, because this is doable. There should not be any island that can't get airline service every single day. As an archipelago, our first priority as a government should be to connect all of our islands. We have to be connected in order for us to function properly. Just they focus on their roads. Rome focused on the roads to make sure that their entire empire was connected by roads. America focused on roads and highways because it is important to make sure that their entire system is connected by roads. Otherwise, you're not really a country if you're not connected properly. If you have to be connected, and so I just want to put this out there for you. Just 1 second, let me pull this up. All right, this is the Bahamas for everyone watching this. Sorry about the lines we have in there, but I'm always investigating stuff and I need to see it properly. And so, oh man, it's a beautiful place. But Long Island is this Long Island right here. All right, in the middle of your screen. That's Long Island right here. And so we're gonna have two hubs. One hub for the Southern Islands is gonna be in Long Island. The next hub is gonna be in Nassau. All right, Nassau will be the hub for the northern section of the Bahamas. We're splitting it in two. And so what does that mean? All of the not all of the airplanes for this section are gonna be housed and maintained right here in Long Island. All right, we're gonna have a proper airport, and the airplanes are gonna be housed right here. So what's gonna happen? Every morning, the airplanes are gonna leave from Long Island or from Managua, and the airplanes are gonna jump from island to island. So, for example, the airplane goes and it's just the people who are on the flight stay on if they're not getting off there. The person who are getting off get off, and the new people get on, and we do this process as fast and efficiently as possible. So they jump over to Crooked Island, jump over to Auckland, jump over to Abrahams Bay in Maguana, then they jump to Inagua, and then the airline comes back to Long Island. So it does, Ragged Island, also Exuma is in this section. Ragged Island, Exuma, and then it comes back to Long Island. So it does a circle, and the flights start at 7 a.m. We already have a whole flight plan and schedule for all of this. It starts at 7 a.m. and the last flight is at 4 p.m. And so it does a circle for the Southern Island. So it jumps from island to island to island. And so it's treated like a bus service. All right?
Interconnectedness.
It's smaller flights, but they're like a bus service that jumps in the morning and jumps in the evening. So you get almost a bus service by air, and you just jump on and off as you need to. And so here at the hub, you have planes going south, but also going north. So if someone from Inagua wants to go to Andres or Nassau, etc., they jump on the plane, and so the plane jumps off, and then they get off at the hub. The hub is in Long Island, and so when they get off on Long Island, they change planes, and then it jumps to Cat Island, Rumkey, etc., to Eleuthera, New Providence. That's where the next hub is, because you might want to go from Inagua to Freeport, and so now you jump off on the hub, and now you can go as it goes to Andres, to Abaco, and then over to Berry Isles, then over to Grand Bahama and Bimini. And so you just set it up as a hub system. All right. So in the same day, through connecting flights, the same way they do it in America, where they have a hub in Texas, a hub in Atlanta, etc. You can have hubs, and these hubs can allow you to be able to get to every section of this island, of our archipelago, in the same day. Also for the frequent flights. So the flights are going to be more frequent. Just like in America, you can get a non-stop flight, or you can get connecting flights. All right, and you can choose which one you want to do based on whatever it is. So they will also have non-stop flights that are traveling, and if you miss a non-stop flight or none is available for that day, then you get on the connecting flights, but you still get there. All right. That is one solution that we can have, and it can connect every single island by air. You can get your air mail, you can get to move around, you can get to where you need to get quickly as possible. What do you think about that, Erica?
I actually been saying this for years. Why are we not connected?
Oh, I'm sorry. Say it again.
Why should I have to fly? For years, I've been saying, why are we not interconnected? Why do I have to fly to Nassau if I want to go to Inagua?
Exactly.
I already almost to Inagua,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I need to fly further north to catch a flight to pass my island to go further
And
south.
guess what?
It has never made sense to
Guess
me.
what? In order Exuma, y'all could hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, my camera freaking. I don't know what's going on tonight,
I can't
but
hear you.
Go ahead.
we are stone throw away from Exuma. Excuse the wind too. I had to go outside them, but we are stone throw away from Exuma. And we have when the sheep runner wasn't here, the little ferry. We had basically you have to catch a flight to Nassau and then back to Exuma. That makes sense?
Say the last part again.
I mean, yeah, it's always
Yeah, I had to come outside. I had basically a hurricane down there. But I said we have
Oh, you said you had to get
if we didn't have the sheep, we would
Wow.
have to fly to every. So that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Jesus Christ. And so, like I said, we're going to have direct flights that can be offered. Of course, we're going to put reasons on each island for people to move back home and to live. But now you have a connecting flight that circles the lower islands, the central islands, and the northern islands. And all you do, if you can't get a direct flight at that time, for whatever reason, you can get a connecting flight where you jump off where you need to get off. So it's just like when you land in Eleuthera, where do they land first? It's Governor's Harbor.
Rock Sound.
Yeah, they land in Rock Sound. Those who are stopping there,
Yes.
they just come off. Everyone else stays on the plane. Persons, they go to Governor's Harbor.
And then you can go
All
to
right?
North Eleuthera
Right.
as well.
And so it's the same thing now that we'll do for the islands. As you're
Yes.
jumping, it just lands, takeoffs and
Yes,
lands
yes.
on the island. Those who are staying, stay. Those who are coming off, come
Yes.
off. All right. And if for whatever reason we don't have a flight that needs to go to Maguana today, it'll be in the computer system. So the flight will skip Maguana because there's no one there waiting. So we could be efficient and it'll skip over to the next stop because no one was there. All we need is vision to make this country work. You know, it's simple as that. All right. But we keep voting for these people who the reason nothing is happening in this country is because they only do things they can make money from. If they can give a contract out for that, for example, they give you the contract for $10,000, but you have to say it's 20,000 because 10,000 for them. That's the only thing they do in this country. They're
Yep.
not interested in anything that can better this country unless they can make money for it. Okay,
And that's why they focus so much on Nassau, New Providence, because that's the money hub, and the outer islands, they call us the outer islands, but that's a good name because we's outside children. They treat us like dogs.
I love the way you put that. That is exactly right. Well,
That's-
Yeah, we's the outer islands, all right.
We got a call on the line. Caller, the number is 803-5995. Caller, you live. Go ahead.
How are you?
Awesome, man. Go ahead, caller.
You know, can you hear me?
Yes, you're low though.
Yes, you can hear me better now.
Yes, thank you.
Listen, I just want to commend you guys on an excellent job you guys are doing up and from island.
Speak a little louder again. Speak a little louder.
I just want to commend you guys on an excellent job you are doing up and from island to island. My brothers and sisters in Long Island, those who are on the panel, can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
They can hear you.
Good evening.
Yeah, we can hear you.
The Bahamas is watching. My heart cries out to what you guys are going through. All right? Just need you guys to hold firm, stay steadfast, and change is coming. Okay? All of we is one in this. When you bleed, we bleed. When we bleed, you bleed. All right? You guys just hold on, stay strong, and the change is coming. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your call, man. And so this is why I said that we need to have what we call the island states and city government, all right? Because the country is broken, and we keep telling people that no one is going to to do more for you than you're going to do for yourself. And so, island states, for those who may be listening to it for the first time or hearing it for the first time, means that the money made in Long Island stays in Long Island. The money made in Abaco stays in Abaco. The money made in Grand Bahama stays in Grand Bahama. They pay a royalty to the central government so that they can run central government functions, but your money stays at home. You guys, you Erica, you Chuck, and all the Long Islanders send over $50 million every single year in taxes and fees, etc., to Nassau, and y'all don't ever see that money again. That is gone, and it is siphoned through contracts into the pockets of politicians and persons who funded their elections, who come with the breadcrumbs
Yeah.
and the little $50 in the t-shirt every election, saying they got money. Oh, these are the parties poor.
I even never get the $50 in the
Wow,
T-shirt.
Yeah,
They don't give me nothing.
I ain't get no $50 either.
my lord, you get robbed
Trust
twice.
me, because we can call them out. That's why we don't get the
Oh,
$50.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
calling
yeah,
out.
We
our
can
mouth
blast
too
them.
big. They want lambs. They just call us sheep
Yeah.
runners, but they
Yeah.
ain't want no sheep like me and you making noise. They want the lambs to just sit down and don't have
Yeah,
nothing to say.
yeah. So island
Nothing to
states,
say.
what we just said, your money stays at home, all right? And so you have your own budget. Um, and so city government means that you have your own city council, and the city council is you, the people. You go on the city council and you determine what happens with your money. You have your own budget, not a budget that you get from the politician in Nassau. Nassau does not tell you what to spend your money on. You determine what to spend your money on, and you spend the money. So you determine to get your roads fixed, or your bridges fixed, or your docks built, because you're gonna make sure the road is fixed because you gotta drive on that road. All right, you can make sure the clinic is fixed because
Yes.
you got to go to that clinic. And so we believe that this is better for everyone. Some people say, oh, all governments are going to do the same. Yeah, I agree. I feel the same way. So why don't we change the system so we don't have to wait on the government? We don't need a politician. Go
And
ahead.
let them know that the local government that you have now, that's not real local government. Island States is going to be real local government, where, like Mr. Bain said, all of the funds that you collect is going to stay in Long Island, and you can do what you want with it. But the local government they have now, basically, that's an extension of central government. No, we want to decentralize the government system. And trust me, we're going to do it when we say we're going to do it. We are.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
everyone complains that the politicians change their number after election. You can't find them to get nothing done. They duck you. But in this scenario, you don't need the politician anymore.
Exactly.
You and the community is going to be able to do what they need to get done. The politician have to come running to you to get something done in that community. We want to
Well,
take power.
basically, sorry, but basically
Go ahead.
right now, that's we basically independent right now. We just ain't got the power because, like you say, the government controlling everything. So we dependent. We got to fend for ourselves. And this is one of the key things I liked about what y'all was trying to push, because at the end of the day, like I say, we basically almost like an independent state now, but we don't have no power because the government controlling everything. So we have a situation where we could control the majority of that, and the community could decide what needs to be done. Then make a lot more sense,
Yeah. Okay, we have someone else on the line calling. Let's get to the phone lines. Good afternoon, caller. You're live. Good afternoon, caller. How you doing, man?
Everything cool.
All right.
And good afternoon to your guest. Shock. It's Makati here, man.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Everything on Friday.
Yeah, man.
You're Long
Yeah,
Island
everything good.
caller? Caller, you're Long Islander?
It's Long Island. Yeah, man. This Makati.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, Makati up in Deadmanski there.
What's going on,
Yeah,
man?
shock. You you know a lot of those site that big, like the down Stella Morris, the the what do you call it, the shrimp hole. Now listen what I'm gonna say, Chuck, and a few other long and start to get moving. Places need to be um, uh, visited and use those like the makes money that makes money different sites. And
Yeah.
it's a few of those
Yeah,
that
but
this
and then the thing is there.
Go ahead, caller.
yeah.
I think you're breaking up, but yeah, and that's another thing, Yeah, I think you're breaking up a bit, but that's another thing, We have a lot of history on the island, and obviously I do tours and stuff, and a lot of beautiful landmarks on the island, and everything is just being neglected. You know, they don't even have proper trash disposal. They don't have proper access to the landmarks. I mean, it's really a bad situation.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's
But these phone service and internet really, really ain't cooperating tonight.
Terrible. Blowing too hard
Yeah,
for
the
Starlink
storm
tonight.
down.
I see the airport here could be closed as of sunset
Oh,
tomorrow.
really?
that is
Okay.
beautiful, man.
Yeah, man.
That is so beautiful.
All right. Thanks for your call, man.
So yeah. So Long Island, vote different this time, man. Just stop. Don't deal with these PLPs and FNMs. There's a bunch of screw ups in this country.
A caller, we call them the dinosaur parties. So you're right on target.
Thanks for your call, man.
Yeah, there's a bunch of crap.
All right. I want to say this, Chuck and Erica. I heard that at one point, not I heard, I know, there were eight cabinet ministers that have been from Long Island. 8. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
And nothing was done then.
Wow. 8.
If you had all them at one time and nothing was
Hold on.
done,
You had 8
why
at
we
one
really think
time?
something could be done now?
Jeez.
No,
One time,
not one
yeah.
time, but over the years. Or maybe I don't know, but you know,
At one time, it was a good many
yeah,
Long
yeah.
Islanders on yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Jimmy, Frank Watson. I just can't remember
And
all
these
them
fellas
names.
couldn't think to do nothing for their island, man.
Just neglect.
And so this is,
I mean, I was younger
yes,
then, so I wasn't even into
I know.
politics, but
And so again, this is
it's
yeah, and
disgraceful.
so again, this is why island states and city government is so important. And this is why we are preaching this message because we need, and so what he called is a very important thing because you have a lot of sites that are beautiful but are being neglected in this island. Tours can happen. Listen, the stuff that I saw since I've been here, I want other people to see. Come on, Chuck. We got to get the whole Bahamas to see what we have.
Why you think I
Chuck,
doing the
they
tours?
don't even know the half of it.
Wow.
But Chuck, the places they went is the
Erica,
regular places everybody could
this
drive to look at all the
this what I
hidden
told him.
places.
I said when they come next time, they need me to take them on a real tour. And what he's seeing right
Trust
now,
me, Chuck know plenty
what he's seeing
places.
right now is only a tip of the iceberg, and that done blowing his mind.
Yep.
Wow. And so I'll tell you this.
We have so many like inland blue holes and
What?
stuff too. It's a lot here that can be seen, but I feel that every department of government fails
Wow.
us because I don't feel the Ministry of Tourism advertise us enough to put us out there. And then, like, it's a lot of places on Long Island, but you have to ramble through the bush and you have to know where it is.
Mm,
Like, I ain't gonna lie, it's so much things on Long Island that I have never been to. I grew up here.
wow.
Chuck, I'm always blown away with some pictures with. I feel like Chuck, I need to come and do a
Man,
tour.
and some people,
Me
like
myself, who
you
grew up
say,
here, because half of these places I have not seen in
and like you
person.
say, Long Island, even Long Islanders don't know some of these places. And I, as you can see, all they see from my social media and my tours and stuff, I have a deep passion for the island, and I've been exploring all parts of this island. I just love to explore, and that's why I do the tours. And I proud of my beautiful island. And right now, it's only basic things we need to take us to the next level. You know, you all think Exuma booming? If we was to have the right things on this island, like a proper airport with direct flights, you know how much tourists tell me if they had direct flights here, they just fly directly here and they get it the same day. You could imagine
Chris has
that?
told us
Yeah.
that since we've been here.
Yep. You know? So
Yeah.
we have a hidden gem. We have a sleeping giant, like I told you all yesterday, Long Island. And you know, people that say about, oh, well, some people don't want to see it because they saying, oh, we don't need all of that extra people. But at the end of the day, the island is dying and tourism is the number one industry. And no matter what you think, everybody is, even if it's going to benefit from it in some way. And most of the people who come here are going to be like foreign tourist visitors. It's not going to be
Yeah,
a
I
big
feel
increase
like
in
Long
crime.
Island is finally getting
Yeah,
on the
you know?
map,
Mm,
but we need a better airlift because honestly, January to like March this year, I feel that we had the most
Yeah.
tourists
Oh
we ever
yeah,
had.
there's an increase in and
I
these
mean,
people trying to
I
get it. Sorry for cutting you off, Erica, but you know, these people come in here. These is increase in tourism. These people come in here with the obstacles they gotta face. So you could imagine if they had direct flights
exactly,
or easier way to get here. Man,
mm.
listen. And only the
exactly.
basic stuff we need, you know. We don't need a full blown airport. We just need an extended runway and a place for them
No,
to clear customs, and that's that. This ain't
Mm.
complicated.
yeah, that building they had, that plan they
That
had
all that
drawn
ain't
up.
necessary.
That's only another political
Yeah,
gimmick
Mm.
to if it ever did happen
somebody benefiting.
for millions to go in
Yeah,
their
And
pocket because that's over the
and there were
top and just
and there were
ridiculous.
private investors who were willing to donate $20 million to build an airport, and the
man. You know how
government
much stuff is
was
cock blocked. You know how much stuff is cock blocked by the government for this island. We've
wow.
had we've had people who come here with wanted to invest multi-million-dollar projects on this island, and you know they look at them. Once they see Long Island on that, they throw that to the side, throw that in the trash. Ain't nothing happening. You know what I mean? So they've been
That's,
deliberately holding us back for a long time, and I can
Wow.
continue to voice my opinion. And like I said, at the end of the day, I ain't looking at no colors. I looking at people who talking sense and trying to do stuff to make the island better and have a future for my family. That's all it's about to me.
And let me go over what you said earlier. One of you said that there were originally 10 to 12,000 residents, and now you're down to 3,500. To me, that is regression. That's not progression.
It's
When
been
you're
like that
building,
for years
when
and
you're
years.
building,
that's
right, and when
regression.
you're nation building, you're supposed to be moving forward. You're not supposed to have brain drain where all of your young people who go to college never return to the island because I assume there's not many light industries here. Nothing is going on. So we're gonna have to change all of that. Trust me. I keep saying I hear you, I feel you, and something has got to be done. This is not nation building at all, at least. Not at all.
I want to talk about
Yeah.
something else. Um,
In the 80s, I figure you had 3,000 people from Clarence down the south end alone.
wow. I wanna add something. You know, the salt mine, Diamond Crystal, was here,
Hmm.
and it is phenomenal. I toured that area, and I wanted to show video tonight, but we didn't get here in time to be able to upload the videos. When I go live tomorrow, I'm going to show how much potential that has. That is worth billions of dollars. Salt is one of the most used things in the world. Every human being uses salt. There's sodium in your food or sodium in your drinks. And so none of us go without that. So it's very important commodity. We are able to mine salt right here in Long Island. And I
Yep.
toured the actual area where that was, and my mind was blown at the potential that is there, and it's just sitting barren and wasted. We have
And that's
film
not
of
the
all
only
of that that we're
place.
going to show on our live when we go live tomorrow. But there's so much potential to sit on that. You know, we could be the salt capital of the world. During the lockdowns, they wanted to sell Morton Salt, all right? The company that owned it. And for a few $100 million, we could have bought Morton Salt. Hold the line, caller, you're next. We could have bought Morton Salt for a few $100 million that they sometimes borrow for nothing. We don't even see where it goes. And when I say Morton Salt, not in Agua, worldwide. All right. And we could have used our other salt ponds around the Bahamas and been number one in salt in the world, which makes sense. Bahamas, salt life. Come on. We don't have leaders with vision. That's our
Yeah.
only problem. Let's take this call. Call you live.
Hi, good night, Lincoln Bain. How are you tonight?
I'm awesome tonight.
Awesome. This is Bianca Major of the Long Island Runner News, aka also, I own a small pizza business in Long Island called Bahama Mama's Pizza and Factory Bar. So
Awesome.
yes, Diamond Crystal was a fabulous island when it existed. But like when it comes to Long Island can't see the shine. Never. The people that oversee us have to just keep us in the dark. Take away anything that's ever good for us.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So nothing. It seems like Long Island is declining.
Mm-hmm.
So all of us here, including Miss Erica on the panel, Chuck on the panel, we were all young chickens too. We were all young little people too. We all had the same. We all talk about the same things our parents talk about, our grandparents, even our great grandparents, and the island is still in the same state. This is going on 50 years now.
Wow.
50 plus years now. We can't seem to get ahead. There's nothing out there for Long Island. I don't know. I don't know, because Long Island is a shining star. I don't know what the problem is. Why it seems like the administration don't want us to be on top. And guess what? The top people who make the Bahamas something come from Long Island.
Wow. That's true.
The backbone of the Bahamas are a lot of Long Island people.
I just want to say this. Other people from other islands may get jealous when I say this, but Long Islanders are some of the most talented people in the world. Not just in the Bahamas, in the world. Let me tell you something. If someone is from Long Island, hire them. Now, you're not going to be able to because they're too entrepreneurial. But if you get a chance to hire a Long Islander, you better hire them because they are talented and gifted and they're self-sufficient. Long Island can build the Bahamas to where it needs to be to take it into the 21st century. I'm not just saying that because I'm here. All right? I'm saying that, listen, if you're a Knowles, you're talented. All right? And all of the Long Island.
There's prods, foxes, noses, turnquoises, all. I mean, all of us.
Yes.
All of the Long Island people are talented. And, you know, I don't want to say that we're the cream of the crop, but we're the cream of the crop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bahamas. I know we have some good, hardworking people here in the Bahamas. I give it all to everybody, yes. But Long Island people, we can carry the show. And we will carry the show if the proper administration give us the chance. Well, you know, stop starving us. Let us grow. Let us get out there. You know, put us on the map. You know, people like Chuck Fox and myself, we've worked year upon year, decades, putting Long Island out there. How do you think all these people get to Long Island? You think someone just, how did the whisper get in their ear? How did the whisper get in their ear? Someone had to put it there. All social media work. We've been doing this for plus 20, 30 years.
Wow.
Trying to get Long Island out there. And
Wow.
it's finally happening. We might not get no thanks for it, but we can see it happening. Now, if they would give us just 2 flights a day, maybe just 1. But at least let it come at least let the plane come at a sensible time during the day, so that people that are traveling from all over the rest of the world can connect to Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we had a connecting flight between Exuma and Florida, this place was booming.
Wow.
But the minute
Yep,
Amazon
facts.
turned off that connecting
But-
flight between Exuma, Long Island, and Florida, it's like someone turned off the tap.
Mm.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. It's deliberate. It's deliberate because they know at the end of the day, they know greatness could become out of Long Island. It's deliberate.
Well, I want to say this to you guys. I want to give you guys hope that we are going to bring island states and city government, and you're not going to have to beg politicians to do anything for you. That we are going to allow you to do it. States are going to have the powers that states have in the United States of America. There's a federal government, but they can't tell the states what to do. All right, you can do your thing. Okay, of course, you're still tied by umbilical cord to the federal government, but you are able to operate your own budget, your own. You determine what happens with your money. This what needs to happen, man. Stop depending on politicians. We want to
Yep.
free the Bahamian people. I am tired.
I agree.
Of when FNM is in power, PLP is starved. When PLP is in power, FNM starved.
Exactly.
If an island
Victimization.
they want to support the FNM, the PLP is going to starve them. And the FNM is going to say, don't do nothing for them. They can vote for us anyway. I am tired of it. We want a country that is for all Bahamians. And that is why we are traveling to all the islands.
Yes.
And that is why we're going to implement island, state, and city government. Some people ask us, Bianca, they say, well, how we know you all are going to do different? And I say to them, it's not that we're going to do different. It ain't about us. We are going to let you do it.
Yay.
We are going to give the power to the people, and you are going to do what you need to do. I know we've been stuck in the cage for so long that we feel that we need a politician to feed us and hand us everything. That's what they have done. We are going to free the Bahamian people. We are going to go on election day and say, let my people go. And we are going to break free, and we are going to hand the pen to the people. You see, with one pen, they determine who eats and who don't eat in this country. They determine what's the law and what's not the law. We are going to give the pen to the people of Long Island, to give the pen to the people of Abaco, to the people of Grand Bahama. We're going to take the pen from the politician and tell them, you all go in the House of Assembly and make laws. All right? We don't need to see you. Go make laws. We got this. That's it. Thank you for your call, Bianca. I come in to taste some of that pizza because I hear Long Island people could cook. All right, man.
Long Island people can talk, and it's great to have at least someone trying to hear us.
Yes.
You know, it's great to all be on one page.
Yes.
You know, and bring the country together so we can move forward together as a country and grow.
Yes.
You know, we need to be living like we're still 100 years from
Wow.
back in the day.
I can't believe what I'm experiencing.
Yes.
It literally feels like you're going back in time.
Yes. Because we were talking to a resident today, and I reminded him that Miles Monroe said either we're going to go years forward, and we had to chuckle because he said, hold on, will you only have 5 more years to go? Because we're already 45 years back. So, I mean, you know, it was so powerful what he said, but still it breaks my heart to hear that. And we've got to do something, Mr. Bain.
Yeah.
We've got
Yeah.
to do something. But
Yeah.
we're going to need the people's help. We're going to need the people to vote differently this time and just get rid of the dinosaur parties, because that's the only way we're going to start nation building.
Yes.
Yes.
And so salt is a big part of our plans for the future. You know, we always talk about natural resources. And guess what? You can make salt here. And guess what? When you make those billions of dollars or how much ever it is from your salt, that money stays here. Think about that. Think about that.
That's
That
true.
money stays here. Yeah, it's
Yes.
not going to be about taxes anymore. The reason your prices are so high is because of taxes. It's because of VAT and all of these other taxes and fees. I want to talk about fisheries for a minute because we have major plans in the country for fisheries. There are several fishing hubs that we're thinking about, but of course, when people do their island states and city government, if they want to turn into a fishing hub, that's their business. But of course, we present a plan and see if the people accept it. And so places like Moores Island is a fishing hub, but of course they don't even have a dock. They don't have a proper dock. That is shameful. And they send money to Nassau, millions of dollars every single year. That should be a fishing hub. 8 Mile Rock should be a fishing hub. All right, that's West Grand Bahama. West End should be a fishing hub, but they don't even have a dock. Not one dock. Not one. In the largest settlement in the whole entire Bahamas. If they had city government, of course they would have their docks. We feel that Long Island should be a fishing capital of the Bahamas. So there's some things that we want to do. We want to partner with the fishermen with our sovereign wealth fund. The sovereign wealth fund is going to have money from our natural resources, and we want to go to the fishermen either as groups or as individuals with proven worth and say, okay, we're going to give you a certain amount of money to buy the proper equipment. We're going to subsidize fisheries. Why? Because we feel that we should be number one in the world in fisheries. We are the fishing mecca of the world. All of the fish in this hemisphere come into our waters. That's why the Dominican Republic and all of those come poaching in our waters. How are we not number one in the world in fisheries? Because we don't empower our people. And so we want to have grants, meaningful loans, grants where our people can, whether it's $1 million, $5 million, they partner with the Sovereign Wealth Fund and they go out there, they have their boats, they have their freezers, they have everything they need, proper fishing houses on the island so that they can bring in the fish, and they partner with the rest of the Bahamian public through the Sovereign Wealth Fund. So all of us benefit from the money that we granted to them, and people have jobs, etc. So we're going to get that money right back through whatever taxes people do pay. And so we think that that's a way to boost what is going on. So we want to make Long Island a fishing hub of the world. America's number one industry is agriculture. And that's because they subsidize agriculture. And we're going to do the same thing with fisheries in the Bahamas. And we're going to make sure our fishermen are not starving. If they experience a hurricane, we can make sure to replenish them, et cetera, et cetera. And so I summarize, but we're going to talk more about this. Let's go to the phone lines again. Caller, you're live. You're live, caller. Okay, we lost that call. They can call back. The internet is not good right now. And so these are some of the things we want to do. So we have major plans for fisheries all over the Bahamas, in Andros, in Moores Island, in Long Island, etc. And we want to invest in that and make that a huge industry. There's no reason that China should be number one in the world in fisheries. There's no reason. Good afternoon, caller. You're live.
Hello. Are we still on?
Yes, we're on. Go ahead. Turn down whatever you're listening to. Turn on your TV or whatever that is, and just listen to the phone.
Okay.
Go ahead, caller.
So I can go ahead?
Yes, go ahead.
So I wanted to say thank you so much for what you're doing for our people. And you mentioned the Sovereign Wealth Fund. I just wanted to say something to that. I thank you for that, because with the last two parties, the Word of God says, where there's no vision, the people perish. And that's what our people are doing. They're perishing right now. You have a vision. People, you're listening to the vision. You have plans for our nation. When you talk about the Wealth Sovereign Fund, I looked at how many grown adults are living with their parents and with their families. That sovereign fund could be mortgage payment for these people. They can get their own homes. All I want to say to our people is, listen, you have given the PLP and the FNM chance after chance. They've done nothing. Give the coalition 5 years. See if they're going to put their plans together. Give them the opportunity. Let's do something new. You hear the plans. You hear the vision. Let's go with that. And I thank you for going to Long Island. That's my family's home, and I'm looking forward to retiring there. So, and then I want to say another thing. How is our government promoting our islands? You're sending your tourists to our islands, and the roads are terrible. I just was in Long Island for the August holiday weekend, and my God, the roads are deplorable. I mean, how are you? You don't have any shame? You're going to promote the islands, and then you don't fix them up, and the tourists come to it? That's ridiculous. Anyway, thanks for letting me vent.
All right, thanks for your call. I don't blame the politicians anymore. I'm starting to blame us as a people because we have a choice and we have to decide on what that choice is. Erica, I can tell you that your light bill, how your light bill looking? Your light bill high or good? Erica, laugh.
That's a
Well, I can
mortgage
answer.
payment.
Wow. Everyone is saying that.
Yes, the mortgage.
Your light bill is high because the PLP and F&M own Focal. This is a reality. The PLP and F&M own Focal. They benefit from that fuel surcharge and from your electricity being high. It goes directly to them, to their pockets, and they raise it and raise it. And then whenever they want, they just drop it down a little bit after raising it for a long time to make it seem like they're giving you relief. And you see now what they did. They are taking the generation part of it and giving it to Frankie Wilson and them. And that's just a front again for the PLP and the F&M. So when they did that ribbon cutting, that was PLP and F&M. No mind you see Frankie Wilson there. That's PLP and F&M that owns Focal. They are benefiting from our suffering, man. And all we want to do is tell the baby people to wake up. Why can't we have solar? I drove for hours in Long Island, and all I see is land. How could we have solar? Do you know what else I see? I passed that bridge by the on the end. By, what do you call it again?
Broken Bridge. I think it's Newton's.
Broken Bridge. No, on the end of the island, the beautiful place. What we saw, it looked like Tahiti or Seymour's. Yeah, so there's a bridge there that they just put there, or well, they just made it a walk. You got to
They
walk.
fixed it.
Right, and so under that bridge is current. We recorded all of that. I wanted to play it today, but we'll do it next time.
Creek,
Yeah, there's a creek under there,
Yes.
and the current is so powerful under there that could power this island.
Yes.
All of those creeks like that could actually power this island through hydro. China is doing it in their creeks. They're doing it with dams, etc. All we need is innovation. We're not missing money, we're missing vision. That's all it is. And so we just need a government that's going to do different. Let me tell you something. They play broke. But Erica, let me tell you something. They make, sorry, I had Chuck blocked up. We lost Chuck for a minute there. Chuck, you back. Sorry about that. They make $3 billion a year. More than $3 billion a year is our revenue, you know. That's not a small amount of money. It's just that the money is being mismanaged. Do you know there's $3 billion?
And Mr. Bain,
You don't have ambulances.
and listen, and they don't give you your freedom of information. They still refuse to give you the freedom of information to know what exactly they're doing with it. And that is really deplorable.
$3 billion, and 51 years later, not one hospital built. Not one.
Yes.
A clinic is not a hospital. Not one hospital built. Not one. In 70 plus years. 51 years later, and Alive had to give ambulance to Long Island, and then they can't even get a driver for it. All right. EMT is one thing. All right. An EMT is the person that works on you while you're in back of the ambulance.
Yeah.
If they don't have a trained EMT, at least give a driver. Pay the driver to drive persons. Because what's happening? You're going to the hospital in the back of a truck, and someone's still driving you, right? So if you don't have EMT, have the driver. The driver may not be able to fix your broken leg or hold you or maintain your leg. At least he can get you to the clinic, and you're not outside in the elements in the rain or falling off the back of a truck.
Like serious.
So even if you can't get the, isn't that common sense? I
Real.
mean, best case scenario is get the EMT, but worst case scenario is get the drivers so that 24 hours a day, at least when you call, someone is there to drive you if you have an accident, etc. to the clinic or wherever the medevac is going to be. Come on, man. We paying them. Go ahead, Charlotte.
So I guess we can look at this is 51 years later, and what we're looking at is a blueprint for the Bahamas economic decline. Which blueprint were the PLP and FNM really working from? It's the people's time, believe in the Bahamians. What is the real blueprint? What is the real economic plan for this country? Obviously, we can see that there is a decline. Are we going to continue going back? Bahamians, it's time that we move forward. And this is why I encourage persons to listen, read up on the plans that the Coalition of Independence have to offer this nation. When you look at the plans, you can go and actually compare them to other countries that are progressing in their infrastructure. Listen to me. It was not the government's own to sell. Our land is not the government's own to sell. Our infrastructure, BPL, BTC, whatever you call them, it is not the government's own to sell. They are selling you, your children. They are selling us out. And I think it's time that we take a stand and we say, you know what, enough is enough. We have allowed this to happen in the days of our parents, but we are not going to allow this to happen to our children and our children's children. The time is now for us to stand up. And guess what? We have another alternative. We have an organization that has a vision and that have a plan for this country. We need to accept life and move away from slow death.
Yeah. And so I just want to get some final words from both of you. And again, this isn't even about politics. We are Bahamians who are tired and fed up, so we decided to step forward. I never asked Erica how she voting, and I ain't tell her how to vote. We just having a conversation. All right. We're talking about the issues of Long Island. All right. And I would encourage everyone to vote Bahamian this time, and that's us. All right. We're going to put Bahamians first.
Yes.
We're going to take power away from the politicians and give it to the people. All right. And so I spoke to Erica and brought her on here and spoke to Chuck because I really believe that they have a heart for Long Island and they're willing to speak up. And so, Erica, I also I need the whole world to taste your cakes. All right. So when you come, no man, that's a serious thing. I just they think I exaggerating until they taste it.
That's world famous cake right there.
Yeah. I don't want them to think that this is a game. I understand that this is real. So when you come to Long Island, or if you could arrange a flight, it only could take you 3 days to get here. All right.
But you know what, Erica? Yes. It's worth it for that cake I had today.
Yes.
It's worth it. I was like, "Ooh, melted on your tongue."
Yeah, they was all bragging. I didn't get mine, because I was busy talking to Erica today, right? All right.
And they didn't share?
You didn't get mine, right? But listen, all of them was bragging about how good this cake was until they gave me my own rum cake. And let me tell you something. They gave me my own cake. Let me tell you something. I wanted to come back there. If I didn't have to come to this show, I was going to knock on your door. I was going to your window. I was going to be knocking on your window, Erica. Listen, congratulations. You are talented. Long Island people are talented. And we think that you're going to help build the Bahamas. We have a lot of Bahamians all over the world building other countries, other companies, big companies, Google. I mean, you name it. You're Bahamians working and running these companies. And we got all the talent right here. And so we believe that you guys are the brains that's gonna build the new Bahamas. I believe that Grand Bahama is the key to the new Bahamas because of their position, etc. You are talented, and I also want to say that Chuck Fox also with his IT stuff, that's my specialty also, computer science, but Chuck is also good at that. And so if you need websites and that kind of stuff, he asked me to do this, even though I was going to say this. Chuck is good at that stuff. He's very good at that. When I say very good, I can say that unless he is very good. He's done websites for some important companies and organizations. And And Chuck, when I come back, I want to do a tour.
Yes.
But with that tour, only one place I want to see. That's Erica's Bakery.
Listen, when I in Clarence Town, you know, like them crack fiends. When I in Clarence Town, let me tell you something. I cannot pass Erica's great bakery. That's a problem, okay?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, if they do the tour with you, they guaranteed to
Oh yeah,
stop
I
at the
take them
bakery.
there. I take them there.
Wow.
That's a
You
winner.
open on Sunday, Erica?
No, I supposed to leave with y'all tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Y'all going
Okay.
tomorrow too, right?
Okay,
Yeah, but
Daddy,
you know what to come with.
Okay.
Yeah, when I see you, you need to have some rum in your hand in the
Yes.
cake now.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
KK.
some rum in the cake. She said 3.
Or two
Yeah,
for
man, but
you.
thank.
Hey, and the
The
cameraman
cameraman
says
said
no.
2 for him.
So that's how much that is. 5?
All right. So, any last words y'all want to say to the Long Islanders who are watching this, to the rest of the Bahamas, so they can now know what's going on here? Go ahead, Erica.
Me again?
Well,
Yes.
I could go. I could go.
Okay, go,
Go,
Chuck.
Chuck.
Yeah, because I having some technical issues here. The tech having technical issues. But anyway, like Mr. Bain was saying, I have 20 some years experience in the tech, website design, graphic design. I've done websites for some big organizations and companies in the Bahamas. And now I'm doing the taxi and tours. Erica could tell you, I all over the place, highly recommend it. If you want a real, like she said, even some of the locals, they don't know some of the places I know. So if you want a real tour and stuff, just hit me up. And as far as what you guys were saying, I really love the decentralization idea and the visions you have at, with actually, we have solar, we have sun, we have, like you say, sea current, we have
See,
wind, we have
Karen.
everything we need to power our islands. And
Mm-hmm.
like you say, at the end of the day, the biggest reason, just like worldwide, why they stick into these fossil fuels is because somebody benefiting from it. That's all it
Yeah.
is. There's no
Yeah.
way in the Bahamas we should be still on these old ancient. Well, I guess you got old ancient people in charge, so I guess that's how that go. But
Yeah.
but like I told Mr. Bay in this face, I was a straight up person. I told him I didn't agree with everything he said or done, but nobody is perfect. I after really meeting him and talking to him, I realized that some of the things he's trying to do, and just like Erica, we have these ideas and these visions in our head too, but just these people just stuck in the Stone Age, or they want to keep us in the Stone Age. So
Yeah.
I do agree with a lot of stuff you're doing, and I definitely could be have my eye on you guys and do more research and all that stuff. And I appreciate, like Erica said, I appreciate at the end of the day you all actually come on the island and make an effort to hear our voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and I see some good things. So I'll be keeping in touch. I'll be keep an eye on you guys, and we definitely need a change. Like I told Mr. Bain too, everybody knows if you're doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, what that
Mhm.
is. Insanity.
Insanity.
Exactly.
Yeah. All
Insanity.
right. Go
So
ahead,
Insanity.
Erica.
I'll leave it those words.
Go ahead, Erica.
Yeah, if we don't change, we're only gonna keep going backwards. I mean, there's been nothing of significance done on this island in years. We I mean, I am new to the business part, and it's really difficult trying to run a business without a bank. In December, that ATM was down for just about the entire month.
What?
The other day, it was down 3 weeks again. How is a business supposed to operate without a bank?
Mm.
You want people to come to the island. Some people, when they come to the island, they still conducting business. Some of them need to be able to go to a bank. They
Mm-hmm.
cannot do what they need to do at an ATM.
Big facts. Big facts.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I tell people, a lot of people visit this island and they work. Their work is online. We do not have if y'all notice throughout Long Island, I figure in this year we've had about 100 homes get Starlink
Wow.
because Alive nor BTC can provide a sensible service. When I had
Mhm.
BTC, if my husband watching TV in the front room, I can't watch TV in the bedroom.
I bring in the Starlinks too. I bring in the Starlinks. Let plug.
So,
And then,
with the Starlink, I mean, tonight tonight was the first night I had any problems, and I mean it's blowing out there. So,
Mhm.
but I mean I never lost signal completely.
Yeah.
But we need these things. We need a proper airport, like Chuck said. We don't need nothing over the top insane. Extend the runway, build a nicer building because I mean only about 5 people could sit in that building. You have to have your little customs area, and you could have international flights. Other islands have international flights and they don't have no 5,000 square foot building.
Wow.
Some
Wow.
things, I mean, it just have to be realistic. You don't
Yeah.
need you don't need a $50 million airport. You just need
No.
an airport.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when we get in, Long Island is going to be the hub, so you're going to have a proper airport. On the screen right now, I'm reading the definition of a failed state to the Bahamian people, and that is a country whose government is considered to have failed at some of its basic responsibilities. For example, keeping the legal system working correctly. We've seen that with the police and court system,
Yeah.
etc. And providing public services. That is electricity, water, education, hospitals. Jesus Christ.
that's
We
basic.
are the
Yeah.
definition of failed state. And they're telling you to vote for them to get more of that.
Failure.
While, ladies and gentlemen, the Bahamas receive blue bond issuances that's connected to carbon credits,
Hmm.
where they are to be receiving billions of dollars, going to be receiving billions of dollars. All right. And if you look on the screen right now, before election, they told you Lincoln Bain is selling dreams. Carbon credit isn't real. All you're seeing them talk about now is carbon credits.
There's the carbon
Lincoln,
credits.
he said, Lincoln being telling dreams. That ain't real. Don't listen to him. Here is the Attorney General, Ryan Pinder, saying that they are going to be collecting $900 million a year. 900 million. But
Hmm.
the truth of the matter is, the truth of the matter is that the carbon credits is actually certified to be worth $156 billion per year. And that is what Chuck Fox has to go, ladies and gentlemen. Good night to Chuck Fox. We'll be wrapping up in a
Good
minute.
night.
But the the carbon credits right here in this document in the Tribune is worth $156 billion per year. That's documented in your face evidence. So, Erica, we have the money to do everything we need in this country. We just have a
Yeah, but
failed.
it's no accountability. We know
Yes.
where none of our money is going, and they keep raising fees, just like with the fishing issue. How do boat license go from $20 to $800?
Uh,
Yes, things increase, but how do you justify that? That's crazy.
yeah, we're going to fight for our fishermen. We're going to subsidize fisheries heavily because it's going to grow a lot of our communities. And I want you to know that in the growth of our islands, we're going to keep it to the point where it's still a beautiful islands. We're not going to turn them into big cities, but they're going to still be islands, but they're going to be functional. They're going to be the way that we want them and we have. We're not building an island for tourists. We're building an island for us, and they're going to be able to come and enjoy what we have. The Bahamians first. Wish we could talk some more, but we've done our 2 hours for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Erica, thank you. Erica, don't make me have to come knock on your window. And if we come knocking on your window, tell your husband it ain't personal. We come for cake.
Cake.
All right?
This cake is a problem.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night. See you later.
Good night.
We appreciate you talking to us tonight.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we go live every Sunday at 5 o'clock. religiously. We are always there. Why are we there? To give you an opportunity to speak to us, to be a part of what we're doing, to educate you about what's happening in the Bahamas. The media does not want the real truth to get out. The media doesn't tell stories about what's going on in Long Island. We had to spend our money, jump on a plane, and come here to show you what is going on. We couldn't even go live at different areas because the internet wasn't working properly. And so we had to wait and come here and do this live and speak to some of the people. And so every Sunday at 5 o'clock, I go live, and we're on, like right now, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, you name it. We're on all of them. So make sure that you are here every Sunday at 5 o'clock. If you have family and friends who have questions, they want information, they can be here. And guess what we do that no other leaders do? We accept your calls. And so if you don't believe something that we said, if you believe something is false, if we did something wrong, if you don't like something that Dr. MacGyver said, you call in live and you deal with us. We are accountable to you now because we are starting the practice from now. If I've offended you in some way, you call in and you put me in my place. If I said something wrong or inaccurate, you call in and let the whole Bahamas hear. We are putting ourselves forward. But of course, the media doesn't want you to hear the truth. So we got to do it. All right. And so your responsibility is to share the message. Share the message. What we call it? Evangelize. Evangelize means to move the message. That's not a religious term. That was out before religion. Evangelize means to move the message. All right. And so this is not going to happen if we make it happen. It's going to happen if you make it happen. You have to be the persons to go out there and talk to your family and friends and spread the word. Don't give up on them. And if it's something they don't believe, if they say, oh, they can do the same thing as everybody else, tell them to call in and tell them to ask me live, what are you going to be different? What's going to make you different from everybody else? Or you could just explain to them. We don't need them to do what they say they're going to do. We can do it ourselves. You understand? The people are going to do it themselves. No more dependent on politicians. We are going to change the game. We have already actually drafted a plan for exactly how we're going to do this. We're going to release it to you. On day 1, this happens. On day 2, this happens. On day 3, this happens. On day 50, this happens. And so you're going to be able to see what our plan is, whether we're on schedule and what happens. To the T. The items that I told you about the airlines, now they're going to run like buses now in the Southern Islands, in the Northern Islands, and you just come off at the hub, you jump and you catch the next plane. That there's plans for that written already, ready to go. We keep giving you snippets of our plan, but we're going to put together Vision 2030. That's going to be a huge document that's going to itemize a lot of these stuff that we are saying that we're going to do. And so, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. The only thing missing is vision, not money, vision. It's time for change, ladies and gentlemen. So the island with the most talented people in the country probably is suffering because the governments are putting policies, etc., in place to make them suffer.
Yes.
And so we are going to come to the rescue. I want to say thank you to all of the people who welcomed us in their house, to the people who are out waiting for us to come. Listen, we got greeted in Long Island, I think better than we got greeted in any constituency.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was.
I can make them jealous. She said, don't make the other constituents jealous. Man, these people was in love with us. We had no idea. Before we came here, they said, oh, them people stuck on F&M. They stuck on PLB. That's what they told us. And when we came here, that's not what we experienced. We experienced people who were saying, no, they tired. They ready for change. They tired after the time. That's all we've experienced since we've been here.
So I want to close out by saying that we have to begin speaking life into each other, speaking life into our nation. Okay, we might think that our neighbor is still fixated on the old world where they don't want to change, but that's not the truth. Especially since coming to Eleuthera,
Long
Island,
Long
a place where they said is, F&M City. But listen, we were so embraced, and persons were eager to learn and to hear about the vision and the plan. Listen, change is definitely here. Change is definitely here. If you are ready for the new Bahamas, then you need to vote something different.
Yes.
So
All right.
let's-
Go ahead.
Well, as we close out, I just want to say thank you for being a part of your roundtable and speaking with the people from Long Island and the Bahamian people. And, you know, as Trump says, what you got to lose? You already voted for the two dinosaurs. They have failed. Why not try something different? What you got to lose? Okay, so that's my message to everyone, and good night to everyone.
Yeah, Veronica quoting Trump. Smart girl. We got her.
That
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the inside
Oh my
joke.
God.
But thank you all so much. See you tomorrow at 5 p.m. All right. And if I have to go late because of getting set up, etc., it'll be 8 p.m. But we're looking to go tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Yes.
All right. We'll say it from now.
Okay.
Tomorrow we go live at 8 p.m. So make sure you're there. I'll put a reminder up on Facebook. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Thank you all
Okay.
so much. God bless you. We love you.